Hello, everybody, and welcome to your reading all about your time. How to best use it, where does it need to be focused right now? We are going to ask Spirit all of those amazing questions. This subject came up when I was turning my clock forward in my car because, that doesn't automatically spring forward. And it just brought to mind, like, clock time is pretty malleable. It's flexible. Only some of us spring forward while others don't. And then in the fall, we're going to fall back. So, Spirit was kind of tapping on my shoulder, like, we want to talk about time. So, anyway, I'm so excited that you are here for this reading. As always, if you are interested in personalized content, one-on-one services, readings, healings, clearings, those are my absolute favorite things to do. I will link all of that in the description below if you are interested. And before us, we have three options. For option number one, we have the Tingshas. For option number two, I'm sorry, my kitty is just running wild in here. We have this adorable little fairy bell with a tree on it. And it sounds like that. For option number three, we have this copper coin. And I would flip it so you could hear the noise it makes, but I'm so positive I would drop it if I did that, so I hope you understand. If you need more time here with the groups, please feel free to pause the video and take as much time as you need. Otherwise, the timestamps will be listed below, so I will see you at the beginning of your reading. All right, let's get started with group number one. If you chose these beautiful, bright, clear Tingshas, let's get your messages about time. This was the deck that you chose underneath the Tingshas, so I feel like we'll go ahead and start with this. All right, Spirit. So for the highest good of all, let's connect to group number one's energy. Group number one, do I have your permission to do so and deliver Spirit's messages for this reading? All right. So for group number one, what would you like to say to them about how they are using their time? Oh, interesting. So that's already coming through. It feels like you're in a certain type of phase. I'm hearing it's just a phase. So maybe there's something temporary going on that you're aware of. Oh, we have quite a few there. We'll take those. Okay, the first one that came out is take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. That was in the reverse. I'm going to take that reversed. We also have expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. And lastly, balance spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. If you are watching this reading at the time that it is posted, we are in Pisces season, and it's kind of a lot right now. So I feel like it's time for you to take a time out. It's been time, and maybe you've just kind of been focusing on other things, trying to bring about powerful change. These three cards right here are indicating to me that Spirit is wanting to intervene on your behalf, but you're not leaving a lot of room for divine intervention. So you're doing amazing work, you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the hours. Spirit's like, leave us a seat at the table, and because we want to serve you something, we want to give you something. And if you rest, if you take a moment, have a moment to yourself, I just feel like the breaks that you're taking during the day or even after work are spent doing other things. So maybe you continue to work, maybe you have a business on the side, and you just don't rest, or you cook dinner for everyone. It just feels like you're constantly going, you're constantly on. And Spirit's like, we need you to be off sometimes so that we have room to work within your life. But powerful change is coming, so maybe you are expecting a powerful change and you're wanting to prepare for it. Let's get some tarot on the table for you and kind of unpack what type of change is coming, because that seems to be where your attention is. But right away, as far as your time, a great use of your time is taking breaks. Plan those. If you need to drop those in your calendar and set a reminder, do it. Group number one, their time. Group number one, their time. Okay, so before we draw from the top, we are going to take a look at what flipped out. So we have the Knight of Cups. I just heard 4, so we will get 4. The 8 of Cups. Okay. The Hierophant. And the 5 of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. For some of you, this has to do with a job, career path. So let's unpack this. In the middle here, we have the Hierophant, which is, it can be about like organized religion, spirituality, seeking higher learning. It can also imply hierarchical structure. So this could be like a corporation, a corporate job, or being part of some type of large system that is organized. It could even be like a governmental system. It looks like you're considering leaving this structure. It just feels like the structure. So for a lot of you, this is a job. I'll just be totally blunt about what I'm seeing here. With the job, it's providing you income, but you're feeling totally depleted and you're feeling like lonely. So I don't know if you are required to do a lot of independent work in this situation, but it seems like you feel detached from others around you, left behind, left out, quite lonely, quite lonely. But it feels like this situation was meant to be, so maybe you are out here second guessing yourself, like, you know, I followed this path, I got into this structure, I became part of the system because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. But now I'm out here feeling so different from everyone around me, feeling like I have no idea what's next. How much longer am I going to be able to take this? Okay. So I feel like you've been getting a message for a while that you need to go elsewhere, take your energy elsewhere, take your time elsewhere. Maybe your time is not being respected at this place, within this hierarchy, this structure. But it feels like you're concerned about the timing because of finances. It's like, well, I'm already feeling so bad off energetically and emotionally. I don't want to make a rash decision and have myself in a pinch, unable to pay my bills. That's not what I want to do. And Spirit's totally agreeing with you. I'm seeing a lot of nodding heads, like, yep, we don't want them to do that either. And with this Knight of Cups, I just feel like your guides really want to commend you for how reasonable and patient you've been through this process. For the majority of you who have chosen this pile, I'm definitely getting career. And it's like, when do I leave? When do I leave and how do I leave? I don't know, but I know that it is coming. We're definitely going to get some more detail about that, but it's very easy to romanticize the idea of leaving and like the things you would do and the things you would say and all the freedom you would have. And it's not that those things are untrue, but we are in the physical. We agreed to come down here and live a life on Earth. And I just feel like you've been so patient and so willing to wait for divine timing, but I can feel you getting impatient. And maybe that's why you feel like you can't rest. You're like, well, if I'm not working this job, I need to be working another job so that I can eventually leave, or I need to be job hunting and acquiring new skills so I can go to this other department I'm interested in or have a completely different career change. I just feel like your mind is constantly going, what are my options? What are my options? And this has really taken quite an emotional and spiritual toll on you. So that's why this Pisces energy is here saying, please breathe. Please take time to breathe and create moments of expansiveness for yourself, because I feel like you feel like you're losing yourself a little bit into this job. Hmm. Some of you, even in this workplace, I feel like you have witnessed very powerful change happen to those around you, and maybe you're already thinking, okay, well, I need to deploy my safety net, my parachute, because what if I'm next? Um, and again, spirit is like, this person is doing such a great job of taking care of the material of themselves and the physical, but being in that fight or flight, basically. I mean, it's like a form of fear that I feel like you have to live in to be in this situation. On top of feeling dissatisfied and like this isn't a great match for you, this has just been a very difficult situation, and I really feel for you. Okay, so let's start to get some advice. We have some divine feather messengers. All right, Spirit. So for group number one, we're focusing on this career situation. How can they best use their time? Okay. We have the crow. Universal laws and truths are now being revealed. Use this energy to create your reality. I just heard even playing field. We have two more. And we have Oriole. A new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. Interesting. Positive, powerful change. One more. Group number one. Oh. Let me see. Okay, we had two that flipped out, and we're gonna take them. Okay, so first we have the vulture. Accept the inevitable. I don't mean to laugh, it just like it seems ominous, but we'll unpack this. Accept the inevitable, let go of the past, and welcome a rebirth to begin. And then with the vulture, we had Robin. New growth and potential is on the horizon. Reach out and embrace it. So, two cards here are mentioning the horizon. So, interesting synchronicity there. Let's just make sure we have room for all of our birds. So, anytime the vulture is here, it does feel like a very powerful transformational cycle is happening. The vulture, for me personally, means that nothing is wasted. So, you might feel that your time is often wasted in this profession with these people. And it feels like maybe this started with one person or one instance, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I didn't feel respected, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's just one person, maybe they had a bad day. This feels systematic. It feels like systematically you have not been honored at any step in the way that you deserve to be and the way you need to be, frankly. Okay, so if you've been feeling that way and feeling like so different from other people around you, other people don't understand, Spirit wants to let you know they understand. Okay, they hear you, they feel you. I feel like someone's been saying that, or like, why did you put me here? Why is this happening? Where are you? Where'd you go? And Spirit's like, we're here. This just needs to, it just needed to happen this way for a moment. I like how these birds are facing each other as well. So additionally, there could have been some confrontational situations or just disagreements around you that has made the atmosphere uncomfortable, motivating you to kind of push this change into action. I wonder if you are an agent of change, group number one. You might have some significant Scorpio placements. It they're showing me like you carrying the energy of transformation like in your pocket with you, and you just kind of sprinkle it around. That's just kind of part of who you are. So I know that can be frustrating, especially if you're just wanting something to be stable for a while. But Spirit is also saying thank you for showing up to this situation and honoring who you are. It would be, in other words, it would be so easy to observe the situation and say, okay, no thanks. I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to reveal an uncomfortable truth. And you're like, I will tell the truth if I have to, basically. And Spirit saying, if you hadn't shown up the way that you have, the way they asked you to, and put in the time, this transformation would not have happened. And this really needed to happen. But again, it just feels like your time, I understand that it feels that your time has been wasted, but Spirit's saying it hasn't. It's been very precious and it's helping to restore some type of divine order. I hope this is making sense. It just feels like you've been dealing with a lot. And this is just your job, you just want to do your work peacefully, right? And it's just not been very peaceful. It does seem, if you are open to it, that there's an opportunity to stay with this company if you're open to it. I feel like you've been noticed with the Oriole and the Robin here. You've been noticed and heard. You've been seen and heard throughout this entire process. And other people are wanting to work with you. So if you are wanting to leave your group, if you're wanting to leave the department, I feel like that's possible. Probably not right at the moment you're watching this, but coming up, there's an opportunity. I mean, if not, I totally, and Spirit totally understands if you just want to leave the organization, that is fair too. But that is what I'm getting here. Okay, we have a deck that I haven't used very often, but Spirit really wanted to bring it out for this occasion. It's called the Arcana of Astrology. So we're going to get a couple of these cards for you to better understand how to best make use of your time. So to summarize so far, definitely take time to yourself to pause and allow yourself to heal emotionally and spiritually. If you're up for it, there's an opportunity to use your time in a different way within this company. but the time's not quite yet. So let's see what else, Spirit, for group number 1, how can they best use their time? Best use or reclaim their time. Okay. We have Eris, or yeah, Eris. We have 10th house. And full moon. All right, so right away, Spirit's saying, let's think of this as a manifestation exercise. So I don't know if that typically really resonates for you, kind of the art and the process of manifestation, but that's being acknowledged here with the full moon. It's like preparing yourself for something to come in, for yourself to receive. I'm just going to pull the book on the 10th house here. You're about to come into the spotlight at work. Oh my gosh, I am not even kidding you. Look at that, it's right there. Wow. I'm sorry, I just got really excited. If you've been behind the scenes on a big project, you will get the recognition that you deserve. Yes, you're being seen and heard, group number 1. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and the contributions that you've made. It can also point to a career change. If you are thinking of leaving your current job, make a list of qualities you want your new job to have. I cannot even believe this is, wow. What roles do you feel suited for? Are you an entrepreneur type, or do you feel more comfortable on a team? Obviously, not everyone can afford or wants to leave their job. This is literally everything we've been talking about. Oh my gosh. Wow. So use that list to figure out ways that you can improve your current situation. If you feel like you need more responsibility, ask for it. Wow. Oh my gosh. Huge confirmations of everything we reviewed in your reading so far. And with Eris here, I hope that's not Eros. I just feel like I'm saying that kind of funny. And coupled with the 10th house, I feel like Spirit is saying, we want you to love your job. We want to help you co-create change in this area of life, of career, to bring love, to bring passion into that situation. We want you to feel fulfilled and recognized. So I feel like you were totally right to put a lot of time into this and a lot of thought into this career change, but I'm not feeling like it's quite time to make it just yet. I feel like there's some more preparation that needs to be done. So I feel like Spirit is saying, take those small breaks for yourself, allow moments of silence for yourself, for you to just breathe and exist. It just seems like you hustle by nature. You're very much an achiever. You're a go-getter. But they don't want you to feel totally depleted. So the time that you put into work really needs to be time that you are enjoying, okay? And I know that's difficult in this situation. We have one more deck to pull from to get final advice. But it could be something as simple as, refraining to contribute to a conversation amongst coworkers who are complaining about an obvious problem. You know what I mean? That's obviously not going to cultivate love and enjoyment in that moment. So any way that you can bring happiness and joy and passion into what you're doing, even if it's taking breaks at work to do something else you love, that's okay. That is okay, as long as it's, you're using your time ethically, of course. But take your lunch to walk outside, to get your favorite drink, something like that. I feel like you really need to be treating yourself very well in this situation. Let's get final advice for group number 1 on how to use their time. Thank you for staying with me. Your reading has been quite long, so my apologies. just feels like time is usually spent on things other than yourself. So this feels apt, actually. Okay. And I'm feeling just 2 of these. Trust. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. And gratitude. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. Yeah, you've definitely brought divine intervention, truth, light, change to this group of people. And again, Spirit is just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up and being you, because if a different person had been put in your role, this would not have happened. And they know it feels chaotic, but trust. Instead of scrambling or over researching or worrying and spiraling, which I know is very easy. I very much relate to this situation, by the way. So you've got a soul sister in me. Put your trust in this time. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be because you are. And again, any slivers of gratitude you can make time for in the middle of the day, even if it's your favorite drink or an extra special treat after lunch, please make time for that. Okay, so those were your messages for those of you who chose group number 1 with the Tingshas about your time. This has definitely been a career-focused reading, so you'll have to let me know if that resonated. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye. All right, if you chose group number 2, with this adorable fairy bell, let's get your messages about your time. Before we get started, group number 2, do I have your permission to connect to your energy and deliver Spirit's messages today? Okay, we will get started with the deck that you chose underneath your bell. This is the Arcana of Astrology. I may need to pull the book on a couple of these, but Spirit really wanted to use these in the reading. So I'm excited to see what comes up for you. Group number 2. So for group number 2's time, or even the use of their time, what do you want to speak to them about, Spirit? What do they need to know? Ooh, that flashed. We will take that. First quarter moon. We also have the 8th house. And I feel like there's one more for you. Group number 2. Their time. Oh, we have the last quarter moon. Oh, interesting. So I definitely want to pull the book on the 8th house. Okay. The realm of reincarnation. This is ruled by Scorpio. So you might have a significant Scorpio placement, group number 2. It's a sign that it's time to take a break from the world and work on letting go of destructive behaviors. Nobody can do this part of your evolution for you. Working with this house is like taking a long, hard walk with the absolute worst parts of yourself. Shadow work. You've either been doing shadow work or you're about to. Group number 2. While you're in this place, it can feel heavy, but when you're finished, you feel light as a feather. You feel a real sense of accomplishments. We all face struggles from time to time, especially when it comes to bills, taxes, and deadlines. If you have been waiting for a sign to get your life in order, congratulations, the 8th house is it. Come up with a realistic plan for sorting things out. Wow. That was an intense read from the book there, so I hope that wasn't too spicy for you, group number 2. Though if you do have Scorpio placements, I doubt it was too spicy, so that should probably be a good sign. With first quarter moon, like the book said, like the 8th house said, this is very much about getting an action plan together. So that's definitely a great place to focus your time. You probably have an idea of what needs to be transformed. If not, we will definitely get more cards on the table, but something tells me you probably already know what we're talking about here. So, first time recommendation of how to spend time would be to make real tangible steps. Make a plan that is doable. Do you know what I mean? Like, break it down into bite-sized pieces, basically, and so that you can actually start moving step by step to change this situation and turn it around. And then with last quarter moon, that is about releasing. Wow, so it's kind of like you're being asked to do the opposite things at the same time. So taking steps to bring about change and then releasing. Take a step, release. Do something else, take a break. So it feels like this work might be challenging for you, but it truly will change your life. It truly will change your life. This could even be like a physical transformation. So you could, hit the gym really hard, take a day of rest. Hit the gym 3 days in a row, take a day of rest. So, like, a cycle. That's a great example of a cycle that is challenging, but it's not like torturous. You know what I mean? I don't want you to feel like this is a bad omen because it's definitely not. So let's get some more information about this transformation spirit. So let's get some tarot on the table. So for group number 2, what type of transformation are they going through or are they preparing for? And what do they need to know about their time with this? So we have making a practical plan, doing the plan, taking a break. Yeah, it just feels like a routine, grinding through a routine. And not slacking on that at all. So maybe there was a time where you really put this on the back burner. If it's your health, maybe you just, had a nice time at the holidays, but now you feel like it's time to whip yourself back into shape. Again, if this is your group, this will resonate and you will know what it is that you are wanting to change. Just clarifying that further. Okay, so for your tarot, first we have the Star. Creating new hope for yourself after a very long and arduous journey. We have the 10 of Pentacles, creating a legacy for yourself. For a lot of you, I feel like this is actually health. And that doesn't have to be just like working out and eating right. Maybe there's a substance that you've enjoyed a lot of. That too could be food, but it could also be like smoking or drinking or just overindulging in like social media. And you're wanting to, I don't know, I feel like something came to a head recently, group number 2, that kind of brought some perspective on the amount of time you have left. And how you still want to be around to experience certain things and you want to be well. I'm sorry, I just really felt that from you. I don't mean to get choked up during your reading, but something got serious, Something really brought the fleeting nature of time to your attention. You're like, I want to be there for my loved ones and I want to be able to have a good time with them. It's like you're holding on to that image to help you get through the shadow, through the muck of releasing all of this crap. And I mean, even something as simple as smoking, that is so difficult to quit. It is unbelievably difficult, okay? So I feel like you need to give yourself credit for that. Wow. Good for you. It's easy to just keep doing the things, but you're not. I feel like you've already started to stop. You might even look into replacing one habit with another. So, for an example, if you really enjoyed smoking, part of that could have been either the breathing pattern. So you might want to look into like mindfulness and breathing, some type of breathing meditation, or even like holding something in your hand, something tactile. So even like a fidget spinner or one of those rings that spins, that could help you as well. Okay, I promise I'm going to lay the rest of these cards down. We have the Four of Wands for you. Beautiful. So much of this is about family. There could have been maybe a revelation of some type of something that runs in the family. So this could be like an addiction pattern, a type of illness that is made worse by preventable health conditions such as obesity and that type of thing. And I'm not oversimplifying. I know that it's not always preventable. Please don't misunderstand that. But it just seems like for some reason you feel like you don't have a lot of time to do this. It's like, I want this to be done, this transformation, which feels very visceral, and like you've put in a lot of hard work in order to celebrate something. So maybe there's an event coming up that you want to make, or it could be like your future wedding. For some of you, that's it. This is a card that is about weddings, getting married. So maybe part of why you're doing this is for your future family that you haven't even met yet. And that, my dear, is a beautiful thing. Your devotion is so raw. It's very moving. And then we also have the Four of Pentacles. So the number 4 is very significant for you. It's also like you're recreating stability for yourself. So maybe this has felt out of control for a while and you're like, I need to ground this and hold it together, because my future family is coming in. I know it, I feel it. So maybe you've been getting messages about that, getting ready to meet somebody new. It just feels like some type of transformation that you're doing for family. Or, that's just a great, you're doing it for yourself, obviously, but that's also a great perk to positively impact the family. Okay, let's get your feather messengers. We'll start to get some advice on how to best use your time during this transformational season of life. Okay. That didn't quite come out. We will keep going. There we go. We have Finch. New opportunities and choices are opening to you now. Claim them. Yeah, I feel a lot of habitual choices have been challenged and are continuing to be challenged. Like, do I really need that drink? Do I really need to order the same thing I always do? Obviously, you had the hummingbird come out, so hey. Release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way. So I definitely don't want to make light of your shadow work. This is very challenging. But I feel like Spirit's also saying, like, it's easy to get too heavy in this. So don't dwell here. Don't dwell in the shadow. So just be mindful of how much time you're spending with your shadow on a daily basis. Yeah, and definitely take time to lighten up. So maybe like watch something funny, do something that you're probably going to laugh or smile during. That's very important. That's a great use of time during this. Okay, then we also have Raven. The universe is calling you to notice important synchronicities. Yeah, there's a lot of synchronicities in your reading already. Will not surprise me if we continue to see more. Yeah, I just feel like you have your eyes on the prize. group number 2, and that's absolutely the correct thing to do. Absolutely. So very much forward thinking. You know, most of these birds are looking in the forward direction, and here you are over here as well, even saving resources for this future situation. So you could be thinking of like getting married, buying a house, something that really creates a lot of stability. The number 4 is much about building foundation for me. So you're like, okay, I'm welcoming people into this life that I've created. I need to make sure that I am stable as a person and not hanging on to substance or addiction, or I want to make sure I'm in the best physical shape I possibly can be so that I can welcome these people and these experiences with open arms. Beautiful. Okay, more advice for group number 2 on how to use their time, how to make the most of their time. So we know that we're doing shadow work, we're taking time to breathe during that, come up for air, making a practical plan, doing the plan, releasing, embracing routine. What else, Spirit? We have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon, and be bold and make the first move. Okay. All right. So for some of you watching, I feel like you have been waiting to engage with another person until, like, you've been holding on. Let me try to just give you an example because, sorry, I'm trying to words this. It's difficult. So an example of what I'm trying to articulate would be, I will allow myself to date when I see this number on the scale. Or I will allow myself to make plans with my friends when I get all this other work on my project done. It feels like you've been holding yourself back. Like you're viewing engagement with another person, whether that's like friends or romantic, as some type of reward. But Spirit's like, you deserve that right now and you're ready to do it right now, so go ahead and be bold and make the first move. So if you see someone attractive, approach them, keep it light, with the hummingbird, keep it light, keep it sweet. Interact with friends, invite them to go out, send a text, message them, call them, whatever. Be the initiator. This very much feels like a message about your social life specifically. So that's a great way to make use of your time. And then with the star and have faith in your dreams, this is so beautiful. I mean, this is basically a confirmation that your dream is coming to you. It is. So we're just basically doing the shadow work so that you'll be ready to receive it once it arrives. But don't hold back socially. I feel like that'll really help you actually kind of lighten your vibration. Okay, now this is interesting though. So if those messages were resonating earlier about your relationships to a certain substance, maybe like drinking, for example, smoking, overeating, something like that, way too much social media, there is kind of like a caveat to this. Like, definitely make plans with your friends, but if it's the friends that are doing the things that you are stopping, that you're removing from your life, of course you have to be mindful of that. So for example, if you are cutting back on drinking and then you call up the friend who's always ordering shots for you, that might not be a great idea. Does that make sense? Okay. But I still feel like there's room for it. There's still a way for you to do this. So let's get final parting advice for group number 2 about their time. You've done such a great job in the shadow, by the way. They wouldn't be telling you to lighten up if you hadn't been truly embracing the shadow. You know what I mean? They'd be like, dig deeper. But they're like, good job, lighten up a little bit, you know. See other friends. Date if you want to. But nothing too serious, so maybe just flirting. You know what I mean? Group number 2, final advice for their time. Acceptance, radical acceptance in the now opens the flow. And loss. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's. This kind of harkens back to that message I got earlier about feeling like you don't have as much time as you thought. So I feel like part of this is a grieving process for you. So I don't know if you've witnessed someone lose time or if you've lost a loved one, group number 2, but it just feels like something kind of clicked and you're like, whoa, I need to take this very seriously. I don't have much time. So I feel like you've accepted the loss there and you are transforming it into something beautiful with the hummingbird. I feel like you've been extremely brave during this. You might have led a group of people through this. So an example would be if you lost a family member, maybe you have the tools to grieve, you have the tools to communicate, and maybe the other people around you did not. And they're really thankful that you were there to help lead. Wow. And I had to flip one more to just see what else was on the top. We have divine abundance for you. We will definitely take that. Wow, this is so beautiful. You're a very philosophical, profound person. So I hope this resonates. I hope you found your group. I would think if the right personality came here, they would know what we're getting at. So wow, you have loss and abundance right there, and acceptance in the middle. It's almost like there's a fine line in some situations, and I feel like you get that. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful read for you, group number 2. Those were your messages if you chose group number 2 with the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you tons of love and light. You'll have to let me know if that resonated, but I'm sending you extra love, group number 2. I will lovingly sit back from your energy at this time, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye. And for those of you who chose group number 3 with the copper coin, let's go ahead and get your messages about your time. Before we get started, do I have your permission to connect to your energy and deliver Spirit's messages today? Alrighty, let's get your messages about your time. The fact that you chose the coin, because I have used that to make choices before, charged with, cleared it and then charged it with energy and then used it as assistance. So I wonder if you're needing to make a choice. Let's see what comes out for you. So for group number 3, Spirit, what do you want to speak to them about regarding their time? What do they need to know for their highest good? Seeing a lot of orange for you, so I feel like there's a lot of kind of creative, passionate energy out of the sacral center there. That is also the center that houses a lot of relationship energy, so maybe that is on your mind. or in your energetic body rather. Let's get one more for you. Having to be quite patient here, so maybe you're feeling like you have to be very patient for something that you want really, really bad to show up. Okay, so before we choose off the top, let's see what flipped out here. First we have, oh, companionship. There we go. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. Beautiful confirmation of that message that was channeled just now. We also have inner power, and look at the orange on here. Give me the courage and the power to do what must be done. And lastly, we have from this deck, love. Wow. I mean, crystal clear message here. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. Okay, I feel like you are calling in a divine relationship, divine companionship. And to do that, you are focusing on embodying love and just being overall the best version of yourself so that you can welcome your person with open arms once they get here. For those of you who are already in a relationship, I feel like you are wanting to absolutely exalt and heal this relationship in your life and just fill it with love. I do feel like for those of you who chose this group, there's definitely an acute awareness that it originates with you. So it's not like, why aren't they showing me love? It's like you have a fundamental understanding that I have to be love. I have to offer love, vibrate at a level that is love before I can be able to even be able to receive it. So it's not about the other person, it's definitely about you, and I feel like you know that. So beautiful start. Let's get some tarot on the table for you for group number 3. Okay, so we're talking about a love relationship. We have the Page of Cups. Very sweet, synchronous energy. So you might be seeing a lot of synchronicities around the energy of love. Like Spirit saying it's coming, it's coming. Or take a look at this relationship. Oh, we have the King of Wands. So some of you are calling in your divine masculine, or working with the energy of divine masculine, making sure your perception of them and the relationships that you've had with divine masculines are completely healed so that it doesn't happen again. Been there. We also have the Ace of Pentacles. So I feel like you've done a lot of work on this in the spiritual realms, on your energetic body, and now you're like, I want to like meet somebody. I want it to become tangible. Oh, okay, let's see what that was. Oh, we have a few. Okay, we're gonna make room. I think we need to take them. So we have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you are a personality that loves to be in love. And who doesn't? I mean, fair. But I feel like when you are in a relationship that serves you, that is when you feel most fulfilled. And it's like, I'm ready to feel that fulfillment again. We also have the Page of Swords. And Temperance. Okay. A lot of Sagittarian energy here. There's some Leo energy here as well. So we have 2 lions. So you may be a fire sign. You might be attracting a fire sign. That's definitely something to keep an eye out for. There's a lot of people involved, by the way. And I just heard, don't get confused. So there might be quite a lot of people wanting to give you advice about this. For some of you, that's the case. Or for others of you, there's a lot of relationships that you are healing in preparation for this, which is a beautiful thing. It's like you are saying, let's heal this, let's fix this. And Spirit is saying, thank you for doing that. Because you're going to be able to root in your inner power here and welcome in love confidently. A lot of confidence here. I feel like your idea of love has been on your mind a lot lately. So, like, how did my past relationships go? How did that serve me? How did it not? What would I rather do differently? And I feel like this is actually a good balance for you because with the Knight of Wands, they can have a tendency to fall in love like that. A less mature version of the King of Wands, by the way, is the Knight. So this person is very hasty. They might be kind of flaky, like, in other words, commit full force to something and then back out at the last moment, or move, or just change things really, really fast. And with the Page of Swords, I feel like you are thinking about maybe your tendency to do this. For a lot of you, I feel like it's just falling in love so fast. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with falling in love. Maybe that's what you often say to yourself. But obviously, you know, with temperance here, by the way, we're wanting to temper that energy and create a more balanced and healthy situation for yourself, specifically in the way that you deal with the energy of love. I feel like it's just kind of like a life force for you. So when you get a drop of it, you become so excited. Oh, I want more, I want more, I want more. How much can I get? Which is beautiful and exciting, but Spirit's like, let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. Let's make sure you are able to pump the brakes before this new relationship comes in for some of you. For others of you, maybe it is slowing down the pace of some of this in an existing relationship. So maybe you guys, there's a lot of fire here. There could be some confrontation in this existing relationship for those of you who are in one. But yeah, there's this sense of let's slow down. Let's make sure we are giving and receiving energy equally. And then let's make sure this is tangible and in a way that really serves both of us. So not this wishy-washy type of thing. Let's make sure that when we speak to each other, it's very clearly and with intention. You know, we're not just saying whatever comes to our mind and hurting the other person. That's not the goal. Okay, let's actually get a couple of these Arcana of Astrology cards for you. I may need to pull the book depending on which ones come out, just a heads up. But Spirit really wanted to use these beautiful cards for you. So for group number 3, obviously we've got a lot going on with relationships. This is my relationship pile. What else about their time? What about their time, Spirit? Group number 3 and their time. We have Saturn. All right. We also have 4th house. Okay. I'm going to pull the book on 4th house. I'm very familiar with Saturn, though. So Saturn, I like to, and a tarot reader I really like on YouTube, her name is Chloe Taylor, likes to refer to Saturn as daddy lessons. So Saturn, or you might have heard of like a Saturn return, is often a time of, I'll be honest with you, challenge. So Saturn, it's like putting in hard work. I believe Saturn is associated with the sign of Capricorn. So that is a sign that's all about hard work, putting in the hours, putting in a lot of effort, like earnest, honest effort, real work to get real results. That's the thing about Saturn, though. Saturn will reward you when you put in the work. So if Saturn's coming up, it's best not to put it off or turn your head away or turn your face away. So let's see what we have for the fourth house. Let's see. It is time to reconnect to your roots with the appearance of the fourth house. This is more than just spending time with your family the usual way. Ask your parents or grandparents questions about your ancestors, and learning their stories will help you get in touch with where you came from. Maybe this provides you with some insight into why things are done a certain way in your family. The fourth house is also about fixing up, cleaning, and decorating your house. Sometimes we scoff at things like this as superficial, but we shouldn't overlook how beneficial these tasks can be to our mental health. Home should be a place not just of security, but also comfort. So I feel like there's some work to be done here in childhood, family, your home, where you came from. You're probably already aware of that with Saturn here. Again, Saturn is not a casual venture. This is like, I've been putting in the hours to do this work, to get ready for this person, or to heal this relationship. And just like this book told us about the fourth house, maybe there's a spring cleaning that's in order, or reorganizing things in a certain room to make space for this person. Just making sure that things are equal, that there's a seat for them that's ready at the table, So, a good way to spend your time is to continue doing the work. Continue doing the practical work on yourself, on your home. Take a look into that childhood stuff. And it looks like you're already concerned with relationships around you. I feel like looking at them in a way that is very real and quite deep will serve you. That's a great way to use your time. So if you have loved ones that you need to have a specific conversation with, a real talk moment, it would be a great time to do that. Okay, let's get a couple feather messengers for you, group number 3. I just heard this time it will stick. So I don't know if you've gone through this very exact process before in the past and maybe it didn't work or something, but I just heard this time it will stick for you. So that's encouraging. Okay. We have for you Flicker. New rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. And Magpie. I do not see this bird very often out of this deck. Reevaluate your priorities. It is time to let go of what you no longer need. So that's kind of doubling down on this message on the fourth house. If there are physical possessions, especially anything tied to your family, group number 3. Like if there's an old box of stuff, even if it's pictures, definitely take a look at it. There's probably not only a message in there for you, but I feel like maybe you need to do something with them. You might need to show them to somebody or reorganize them in a way that better suits you and your needs. So with Flicker, I'm honestly seeing momentum picking up. Momentum is building. So you've been in the Saturn energy for a while, doing the work. You might have even been doing some shadow work as well. I know group number 2 was. So you're definitely not alone. There's a lot of people out there doing that right now. And I feel like you actually doing this work, looking into your childhood, looking into your past, looking into patterns within relationships, but not in a casual way, in a way that invites transformation. I'm sorry, my cat is playing with her little squeaky toy. If you did hear that. But doing that is building momentum. It's disrupting your patterns in a way that is allowing this person or this relationship to be healed faster, your person to come in faster. So please know you are using your time wisely when you are doing your work, your inner work. Reclaiming your inner power is holding space for love and companionship to be bolstered. Okay. Let's get your final advice, group number 3. We'll finish with divine abundance for you. Any parting messages, Spirit, about group number 3's time? Okay, this wants to come out. We have sanctity. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. Oh my gosh, I forgot we already pulled from this deck, but that's okay. There's obviously other things they wanted to bring out for you here. That's funny. Ooh. And there they are. Oh, we have grief. You've probably been processing grief. It's a great use of time. I know it's taken a long time, but you're right to focus on that. And then lastly, we have receiving your inner power. It's almost like being in a relationship is something sacred to you. And you know that because of all the grief that you've experienced and equally the love. So that's beautiful divine awareness. There's a lot of blues and yellows here for you now, group number 3. And this deep, really vibrant blue is kind of pointing me towards the third eye as well as the solar plexus. So if you haven't already been working on those chakras, I feel like they are stepping forward into your awareness now. Even wearing those 2 colors can be beneficial. I feel like there's 2 more cards waiting for you in this deck. It just caught my eye. I know I said those were parting messages, but this is really parting. Okay, so for group number 3, parting messages about their time. And we have for you, expect powerful change. That came out for another group. Wow. Let me see. And then we also have for you, don't let your past hold you back. So relationships have probably been a big source of lesson learning for you. But Spirit is saying this next chapter, whether it's a current relationship or a new one coming in, is going to be exceptionally different from the things that you have done before. So expect powerful change in your love life. And please do not let expectations set by people in the past or past grief, past hurt, please do not let that color your perception of what's coming into your life. Okay, those are your messages. If you chose group number 3 with the copper coin, thank you so much for sharing your energy with me. Woo! Oh my gosh. I will respectfully step back from your energy at this time. Okay, so there's one more message for you because I just slammed that on the table. I feel like you might be concerned about dropping the ball or missing your person. You can't miss your person at the grocery store. If you're meant to meet them there, you will. So So ease up a little bit on yourself. So that's your third parting message of the evening. Thank you so much, group number 3. I'm sending you tons of love and light, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye.